Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm joined with Robert Schinetsky. Robert and I are going to talk about the coronavirus and favorite topic, the shutdown of the Arnold Expo. All right, guys, before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. Robert, you're down in Texas, correct? You're not headed to Ohio.
No, that was a lovely hour and a half of wasted time last night spent on the phone with the airlines and the hotel trying to get my money back because of the infinite wisdom of the governor of Ohio and the 8,000 weenies that signed that petition.
Oh, you're just getting very controversial.
Well, I'm a little pissed that the whole expo got canceled. So, I mean, the expo, there were a lot of friends, including you, that I were going up there to see. It's not the expo. I've been there 4 or 5 times now. It's a big sausage fest. And it's hot, sweaty, and smells like protein farts the whole time. So I'm not overly enthusiastic about walking in an overly crowded space with 16,000 other people at the same time. I would go for the meetings, hanging out at the bar. We had a couple of parties planned while we were there, and good times with you and the missus. So I was very much looking forward to that, and then it got shit on because people are freaked out about a virus that is not even as significantly effective as so many other viruses and conditions that we're dealing with today.
So, yeah, I'm kind of sad because last year I think I drank too much and we did a podcast. So
we did.
So let's backtrack a little bit. The Arnold, yesterday, the big news was the Arnold Sports Festival announced, or the governor announced, that they were canceling it or postponing it. Did they say postponing it or just canceling it?
It is canceled. It's full out canceled. I think they may still be having the bodybuilding competition, but all of the other Olympic events, to my knowledge, have been canceled. The Expos canceled. Which kind of sucks, at least for the Ohio and the Columbus economy in particular, because that little 3-4 day event generates something like $200 million for the city. So that's a huge loss for them.
Yeah, I can't imagine the business owners being very happy about that. And beyond that, all the folks that are traveling in. But when I messaged you with the tweet, you made a comment back, and that's kind of what I wanted to explore in this video a little bit about the panic. Do you believe, Robert, that it was justified to shut down the Arnold?
I don't believe so. I mean, I've talked with a few friends of mine that are doctors, and my sister is a pharmacist, and they said, by and large, the virus is contained, and if you're washing your hands, taking simple health and hygiene protocols, you're going to be fine. As long as you're not walking up to somebody that's got the virus and getting sneezed right in the face. I mean, you are going to be okay with this. There are much bigger, more important things you could be concerned about. I think the flu's already killed something like 20,000 people this year. Heart disease kills 2,000 people a day, and we're worried about a virus that is largely not affecting a considerable amount of people in the United States. And I think there might be one case in Ohio in total, and it's not that close to Columbus, I don't think.
Yeah, well, it's more in northern Ohio rather than southern Ohio. It's not down near, I'm in Cincinnati area, and it's not down by us. It's just somewhere up there. So it's probably closer to Columbus. As far as the paranoia over the coronavirus in general, do you believe it's being overhyped, or are we giving it the appropriate amount of attention?
It's definitely getting very much overblown by the media, and I don't think the governor canceling the event helped that in any way, shape, or form. I think the 8,000 plus people that signed the petition, I think it's hysteria that's largely been driven by a media that likes to sensationalize things.
So when we talk about it basically being contained, when you mentioned that to me, I was like, well, that statistically, I understand what you're saying, but is there any way you can explain that to the layman, the average person, how you feel about its current state, and what do you mean by containment?
By the number and scale of new cases or outbreaks that are happening it's already peaked and it's already coming down. It's not continually going up or driving up in a linear progressing fashion or even an exponential case. It's not going that way at all. They've already peaked the number of new cases or the magnitude of new outbreak cases, and it's starting to come down now. So that's what I mean by it's contained. It's not still ramping up, and we're not seeing thousands upon millions of people getting affected and it propagating it like something you'd see in the movie Outbreak.
Right. I think we're being conditioned right now with all the information that's out there to almost feel like there's some form of exponential growth. In reality, statistically, when you look at it, like you said, it has peaked. Obviously, we have to do our due diligence, but when it comes to something like this, like the Arnold Sports Festival being shut down, ultimately the question is it worth it? And all the people that are impacted, the local businesses, and I was talking with my wife last night. The big mega companies that are going to the Arnold, and they're probably already on the road with their big rigs, right?
Yep.
People got to understand these big companies, whoever it happens to be. Like in the past, it was bodybuilding.com and some of the big supplement companies. They drive these big, huge rigs, and they have a lot of people they're paying to show up with hotels. I can't imagine the amount of cash that these companies are out.
Yeah, it's going to be significant. I mean, not just lost time too. That's an unaccounted for expense, because you're going to have all the logistics people back at the headquarters of these companies trying to cancel numerous amounts of flights, hotel stays, other accommodations. You book reservations at restaurants or meeting rooms. All of this has to get canceled now. Plus, you have to figure out all the shipping stuff, because a lot of these companies will ship their product into the expos, and that's because obviously they sell them at the booths there. So that needs to be reworked out. I had a conversation with several people that are involved in the industry last night. They were scrambling, trying to see about getting things canceled and what they were going to do, and is it even worth it to go and have meetings at like the Hyatt bar that's attached to the convention center? And most people are just saying it's not worth the headache and effort to go now. So it's going to be. I think it's a huge loss all around, and something that got blown out of proportion when it didn't really need to be.
So I'm gonna pursue one more avenue, and then we'll hop off, because everybody's probably beating this to death already in YouTube fitness. I know in my time in the supplement industry, not just with the companies I was with, but with other companies, because I'm close to the Arnold, an hour and 15 minutes away. There was always, every year, there was a lot of talk by companies, should we even go? Is this worth our investment? Yeah. So I guess the question now is, do you feel next year that will impact the decision of some of these companies? Like, we decided to blow whatever amount of money, and next year, we might not go. And the average fan, I know probably 30 people that have reached out to me that were coming, and I invited them to come down and say hi. And I can't see them wanting to pull the trigger again next year after getting kicked in the big, juicy testicles. What are your thoughts?
This is something I've been thinking about for the past couple of years, because we saw this a lot with the Olympia last year, that attendance was way down. Even the amount of supplement companies themselves that showed up was very down. There was a lot of open aisle space. It almost looked empty, or they could have had the event in a place that was half as big as the one that they used. The Arnold the convention center that they use is too small for the current size of the thing, to where even if some people didn't show up, you're still going to feel cramped, because it's already overpopulated in there as it is. I think by and large, the Arnold isn't just about the supplement expo, because they have the bodybuilding, they have the strongman competitions, they've got several other Olympic events that go on there as well. So I think that will continue to be a draw for some people. I by and large, as a consumer and somebody that works within the industry, I don't see the attraction for brands to go and do that. It's exorbitantly expensive, not only to run the event. You have to pay for all of your athletes to go out there. You have to pay for the product. Then you have to pay for the labor to set up your booth. Then you have to pay to ship your product there. It's just, and all of the meals and all the other headaches, travel expenses that go with that too. I don't understand how companies make money, and I'm pretty sure most companies actually lose money doing these expos, because I don't think the increased exposure you would get by going to that expo is going to pay off or make up for how much you have to invest into doing that. So if you're a big company, somebody like, Redcon, Primeval, one of these bigger companies, or Optimum, that's got money to throw away and do that and get a big blowout booth, sure. And if you want to do that to have meetings, that's great. But from a company standpoint, if I had a company, and I don't really ever want to have a supplement company, I'll say that. If I ever went, I would go and just have meetings offsite. I would never pay for a booth there, because you'll never get back that initial investment that you're going to put in, paying out all that money.
Yeah, when I look at the Arnold and the couple of times I've been, for me, it's just been about meeting people. It's like a big party. Right. Like everybody gathers, and like all the booths and stuff, everybody's just grabbing free shit. And, there are some, you walk around the entire expo and there's going to be one or two things you go, oh, I never seen that product before. That product's interesting. I think companies like that can benefit. But, after you've seen like 20 supplement companies and the next great, fucking flavor of whey protein, you're pretty much over it. And you're
Exactly.
just grabbing free shit for grabbing free shit. So I like the social aspect of it. But, for the average company without any standout, what I would call purple cow products that are really unique, I don't really see the value.
I would agree. And I'm not a person that's drawn to Fitstagram influencers and all that stuff. So I'm not going to wait in line to go shake some douchebag's hand and say, hi, I watch your InstaFace channel. I love all this. I don't do that. I don't understand that mentality. So that's one other reason I try to avoid the expo, because it's mostly people trying to grab free shit or stand in line to meet some YouTube guy. So
well, we could talk for probably hours on that subject, because the amount of fitness personalities on Instagram churning out nonsense that have like 2 million followers is just absolutely mind blowing. And what's even more mind blowing is when you realize some of my followers are following these dipshits. So anyway, what the fuck are you doing? Seriously. But anyway, Robert, where can everybody find you on social media and on YouTube and your website?
On Instagram at The Supplement Engineer. So that's TheSupplementEngineer. Also at supplementengineer.com, where you get information on the Supplement Engineer podcast, which is available on iTunes, Google Play, all of the podcasting platforms, Stitcher. You can see the podcast in video, audio. I've got a bunch of articles on there about some of the latest cutting edge ingredients. If people are curious to see, are these any good? Should I supplement with them? Should I not? And the supplement engineer at gmail.com if you got any other supplement related questions.
All right, before we go, I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to announce a contest right now. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Arnold Sports Festival and the coronavirus. The best comment wins a week stay in Robert's house. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Son of a bitch.